everybody. Welcome to the United States of America podcast. And this is the Exit Stage Left edition with me, Niti, and Michelle Ford. Welcome, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Girl, I am great. I
Yay.
have to say what I said a little bit earlier before we went live, which is thank God I have a great attitude.
I know. Well, because you know why,
It's a
Michelle?
choice.
Hey, yes, it is because we choose every day and things are always working out for us, right?
That's right.
Things
Even
are
when they're
always
not,
working.
they are.
Even when they seem like they're not, they are. Also
Mhm,
because, we just choose. We just choose that everything's going to be great and
mhm.
we just know and it always is. There's nothing serious really going on.
No, nope. If you take it too seriously, you're going to get all messed up. We got to be able to go, dare I say, go with the flow. That's probably a water thing. Okay. So I don't mean it
Well,
like that, but what I mean, like,
let's just go downstream, right? Because everybody else, what the corporatocracy wants you to do is to really go upstream all the time. And just let the wars go. Let's
mhm,
just let them go. And when you do, then things always work out.
they do. One day we'll look back on this moment and go, wow,
How did we do that?
how did we do that? For crying out loud. Yeah.
We just decided, right?
Yep. If it's to
We
be, it's up to me. And if everybody says that, right, then it'll be like, if it's to be, it's up to us. Yeah.
like Anna says,
Mhm.
got my sleeves up. You got your mop and bucket?
Got your mop. Get out your mop and bucket, people. That's what we have to do. Get out the mop and bucket. Yeah.
All right, so today is Michelle's choice. What are we talking about today, Michelle?
Oh, I love that. Michelle's choice. That's kind of
Michelle's
cool. Thanks,
choice.
Niti.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that sometimes if someone gives me the opportunity to talk, I won't stop. But it's not about me talking. What it is about is, you know, a perspective. I have a perspective that I want to share today because yesterday I subscribed to a Substack.
Oh,
I'm a fan of Substack. Why? Because I haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of censoring going on over there, right? So people are writing articles, sharing information, and it just doesn't seem to be like suppressed. No, I'm not saying it's not suppressed,
mm,
but what I am, because I don't know, I'm not behind the scenes at Substack, but what I am saying is I'm allowed to read and see a bunch of articles that would otherwise have been considered like untouchable in the area of, you know, Facebook, let's say, or
mm.
Instagram, or even Pinterest. I mean, all of these big tech companies were, they or social media companies. They were censoring people and
Well, they're
just
all
allowing.
owned by the Rockefellers. So let's just start there.
Ooh, is Substack also owned by the Rockefellers?
Well, this is what I know is that all I've been trying to teach people for the last 15 years is about regenerative meat. And I am like blocked and shadow banned to death.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'll give you an example. On Instagram, I can never get past like 2,800 followers or something like that. But
Mm,
meanwhile, I have people constantly, like, every day, there's a bunch of people like signing up, like, because I can see them, like, so and so starting to follow you now, blah, blah, blah,
mhm,
blah, blah.
mhm.
So, how is it that every day I have like all these people who are supposedly started following me, but the number doesn't change? It never goes anywhere like past.
Ah,
So, like, if I was that person that really cared about the number, which I don't, I think we're just too old to really care about that. Like, I'm not trying to win the contest or something. So, like, if I was trying, I mean, I do wonder, like, wonder what's going on there,
mhm,
or even on YouTube. Like, I know that we have more people watching what we're doing than it tells us.
mhm.
I don't care. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you could be monetizing." No, we can't. We can't. You know what, friends? When you're telling people the truth, then nobody's going to let you like monetize that. So, any of the people like us that are just talking about the truth, it's not very exciting.
Well,
to
it's
them.
not a money, this it shouldn't even be about a money-making thing, right? In general, I'm not saying that people who are talking, you know, truth and sharing information shouldn't be able to earn a living doing it, but that shouldn't be the reason why people are telling the truth. The truth should just be
Mhm.
one of those things that is a necessary, um, function of being alive. Like, we should.
It's called morality, Michelle. So, like, truth aligns
Oh,
with morality and
mhm,
lies align with immorality.
right.
And so, if you're able to make money, if you're able to have a bunch of followers, if you're able to have a big crowd or whatever, if it's real easy for you to find somebody, then you might want to wonder, what are they saying? Because what I've noticed is there are a lot of folks speaking mostly something that seems like what we're talking about, but they're
Right.
not. But they're not, you know.
Okay, this is what I wanna talk about. This is what I wanna talk about right here. This is
Okay.
exactly where my heart is at today, okay?
Okay. Yes.
So I started following this Substack,
Okay.
okay? The Art of Liberty Foundation Substack,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I in my heart, right, not only am I American, okay?
Yes.
I'm a daughter of the Most High. I'm an American, and I'm a Californian, right?
Right.
More specifically, and even more specifically, I'm a Los Angelinian.
Or
Whatever
something.
that I'm an Angelino or whatever they call it, right? Okay.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
There are in the political sense, which
Uh,
we're not doing politics, but in
we're
politics,
not politicians. No.
we're not politicians, but
No.
there is a movement of libertarianism, right?
Yeah.
Libertarians, okay? And I tend to I love hearing people who are libertarians because they are really focused on, I don't need a government to
Mm,
for me to be self-governing, right?
right.
I don't need a big brother to tell me how to live my life. I know how to be safe. I know how to,
Oh. Well,
God
because
gave
you're supposed because Americans are self-governing,
right.
because we actually are, but we're letting other people tell us something, and they trick us into believing that they're our government. Did you guys know that?
Well, and this
And
is my
that's a trick. It's the corporatocracy. It's the same corporatocracy that's censoring, which is like the Rockefellers. Those guys, the same people. I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead with your
well,
idea.
this is it.
Yes.
There's um liberty-minded folks,
Mhm.
libertarians in terms of politics, and then there are people that are teaching about living freely, living a free life, right?
Radical self-reliance. Yes.
Amazing. I support that
Yes.
100%. I really am like, yes, go, people, right? That's wonderful.
Yes. You have to
And then
collect skills like dollar bills. Collect skills.
collect skills. Then there is assembling. And
Mm.
here's where it gets into the minutia. But this has to be talked about, okay?
Gotta talk about it, friends.
Got to talk about it because there's assembling going on.
Yep.
And there is just bubbling under the surface. It's under there and you might feel it, you might see it. It's bubbling under the surface. And that is this belief. There is a belief out there
Mhm.
that people who are assembling
Mhm.
are attempting to form a government in order that we could steal your rights away.
Yes. Okay, and then let me just
Okay.
tell you, and they're tricking. There's
Yes.
so
Yes.
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 Yes. They don't want you look, friends, let me just tell you, you know that we're winning because there are people trying to stop it by well, look at this group. Let me share this link with you. There's this one called Americans Are Back.
Oh, nice.
It's really cool. I mean, when you go to the website, I'll put the link here for everybody to see. Can you see that on the comment side? Michelle, switch to the
Americans
comment side
are
right there.
back. Americans are
Yeah.
back. Oh yeah,
So
I'm
so
gonna
when
pull
you
it up.
go yeah, pull it up. It's like here, maybe I can screen share it. It's like, hang on.
Oh, and it says exemptions you are owed. It should be really exceptions because you're not.
I know.
Exemptions
It's
can
kind
be.
of okay, here we go. Let's just do it this way. Ooh, did it work? Can you see? Oh, here we go. Boom. See, it says become an American state national. It says move from, U.S. citizen to state national and live as a private American. Exemptions are owed. Okay. And then, are you able to see when I scroll?
Yes.
So it says your political status, it's talking about break out of the box. It's great. I'm like all in. I'm like, yeah. And then it says, see birth certificate fraud and, who can be a state national and it's
Mm.
revocation, blah, 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 getting started, all the good things. Then here, see this?
Oh yeah.
Then there's this part.
Right. Then they introduce the
Then they
then
say
they introduce the
package.
distraction. It's like the next shiny
Ding.
object. Oh, go over
Oh,
here. Boop, boop,
uh-huh.
boop, boop,
Okay,
boop,
then
boop.
it's like pay us money.
Right.
Okay, friends, if you see this right here, package number 2, state national paperwork and secured party creditor document learning pack, $550. Okay.
Yeah, it's free to it's pretty much free to make a public declaration.
Uh-huh.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
and there's
I have
water
published
add-on.
my paperwork on the
Look, what are they
free.
add-ons? And then it's the package 1, $206. This is backwards even because you got to do the 500 one. Why would you do the $200 one? And
Mhm.
the first step to freedom is this package. La 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 la.
Why
Okay,
does everyone try to make a gravy train out of freedom? I don't
girl,
understand that part.
because they know. But look, then they come up with Anna's books. This is the problem.
Mhm. Yeah,
This
they
is the
make it
problem because look, y'all, the Anna has not earned. She hasn't taken a dime, but they have Anna's website, Anna. And then people get mad at her because they think they paid her. And then
mhm.
it's got these phone numbers. This isn't Anna. And it's called the Living Learning Group Unincorporated. All rights reserved without prejudice, blah, blah, blah. But they're using Anna's stuff.
Right. Did they get permission, I wonder?
I mean, I'm sure they haven't. And then you got these people that are like, we had only been in the States for 10 years and didn't know we could correct our political status. And, I don't know how many people have done this. And then look, it says for declared Americans only. And you click on that. And then it goes, it's resident.
If it populated a new window, we're not seeing the new window. We're seeing the old one with the yellow.
Oh, you are?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think you have to switch
Okay,
view.
hold on. Yeah, let me see if it'll let me
Mhm.
um let me see if it'll let me. Oh yeah. Then it goes to this, y'all. Can you see that?
Not yet.
Oh, oopsie daisies. There we go.
There we go. Of
See?
course, my little eyeballs, I'm like, "Ah,
Okay, let me
I can't
see
read
if I
it."
can make it bigger.
Let me
Let
make
me
mine
see if
bigger
I can
too.
bigger.
I'm sure for the audience it's fine, but,
Um
my
okay,
eyes.
I don't know how to make this bigger, but see how it says for declared Americans only?
Yeah, doesn't Anna have an article titled that?
She really does.
Right, right.
But this doesn't say that. This is like, what have you been a victim of? Identity theft, food fights, la la la. I mean, it's just like it's going through this. So it's it and then here we go. Testimony in the form of an affidavit. Then they're teaching things that she's talking about. Denials, things that she doesn't object to. They're taking all her stuff and they're asking you to answer the question yes or no so that they can put together, I don't know, some kind of document for you. And see, then you put your name and answer and phone number and blah, blah, blah. They created a Google form for this, is what it basically boils down to.
Right, which is a collection of your contact information, which is fine. Listen, everybody's trying to build their own, I don't know,
database.
audience or whatever. So,
But
but
friends,
but when you're
these are
self-governing,
tricks.
when
You
you're
gotta say we're trying to bring these things to your attention. Like, we're
Mhm.
not trying to dig on these people. I
No,
mean, if you want to go hang out with them and learn something from them or whatever, do it. Like, it's fine. But what they do is they leave you stateless. They leave you stateless because what happens is if you pay them the money and you do the thing, then maybe some of the paperwork's fine. I don't really know. I didn't keep looking at it that hard. Okay. But what happens is you go there, you pay them all this money, and then I don't know what they give you or what you get back. Supposedly, they're tricking you and they're steering you back into UCC. What this does, you guys, is makes you contract again with them. So it holds you like you're trying to get out of the box, but it throws you back in the box. And you did all this work and you paid all this money, and they're doing it under Anna's name.
right.
And she does not A, charge you any money. She does not B, leave you stateless. And there's other benefits that you would get with Anna that we don't always talk about because that isn't the point. Like, you need to come home to actually be able to stand on your square. Anyway, I didn't want to take away from your message, Michelle. I just wanted to show you the tricks. There's all these tricks out here.
Yeah, well, and listen, this movement, if you will, this is growing. People are learning bits and pieces of, oh my gosh, I heard that I can be free. And people are correcting their status, and there's all these gurus out there that are like riding on the coattails of people like Anna because she gives everybody her information. She's not charging 550 bucks or 500, whatever that was. She's not charging 206. She's not, it's like the people are stuck in a world of a of business, right? It's all about business, business, business. How do we make a business out of this? And that's not the point. The point is how to be free, how to restore your lawful American government right on your own county, on your own state. That's supposed to be the point. Now, there are people out there, though, and this is the kind of full circle regarding the um, libertarianism, which again, I love the philosophy and the ideology of self governing, being free, right? So that is a container, the container of I'm choosing freedom. And then you could just be like, that's it, I'm choosing freedom. Get it declared, correct the record, the public record, and continue your learning journey. And then there's like this part two. The part two is we need people who are like hungry and learning, want more and more of the information so that they can stand up the lawful government, which is not the lie that's going around that it's
Nope.
going to be another top down system. That is not what we're doing here.
Right.
We are not here to dominate the lives of anybody on our own assemblies.
No,
I
friends.
was like, that's the problem. People,
Yeah.
and then when there's fighting on an assembly, they come in and they want to destroy and they seek to like, I don't know, point fingers at their county coordinator, point fingers at the volunteers,
The blame
you know,
game. So
the blame game.
this blame game is 100% the corporatocracy. The
Mm,
corporatocracy operates in competition, Michelle, and we operate in cooperation. We don't operate in competition. We're not interested in blaming anybody for anything because we are sovereign, meaning we are responsible. We can't blame anybody else for anything that's going on
no.
because look, they're creating a problem, and what we're doing is providing the solution. So, if you're following Anna's work, Anna is telling you how to stand on your square, how to walk in your full power, and how, what you have to do. She's not doing it for us because she needs us to do it. And we can't do it if we don't have knowledge on how to do it. So we have to do the ABCs. You gotta learn your ABCs before you can write the words, and you need to learn the language. And, of course, there's what's happening is there is a lot of fighting for power, because this is the thing that the corporatocracy does, is it teaches you that you need to be in charge of everybody. So everyone comes in looking for, okay, what can I do? What can I be in charge of? There's a difference between taking responsibility for and being in charge of something,
So
you know?
true. You can say on your state assembly or your county assembly, "Hey, I'm good at that. Like, I know how to build a website." Great. We need a volunteer for that.
Yeah.
And then if you make a great website, your people are going to love it and then they'll keep it. Otherwise, they're going to be like, that isn't great. We don't like it. Can we change this or that?" So it's like a collaboration. But just because somebody doesn't like something doesn't mean you have to have a fight about it. It doesn't mean you have to get your ego bruised. It means we got to be open to coachability and feedback, right?
Michelle, like in our family, we have certain people that are really good at certain things, and the other ones of us who are not good at that, or we just don't like to do that. So, for example, we just went to visit family. We went on a trip, and so we had to fly. I hate it. I hate flying. I hate dealing with the whatever.
Yeah, just
Anyway,
going into the territory makes me nervous.
yeah, I don't like it. But anyway, it was something that we needed to do because it was a quick, you know, 2 days or whatever. So, my mom is so funny. She goes, "Are you checking in?" I'm checking in, and I'm like, "I don't do that. My husband does that." Like, I don't know. She's like, "Did you do blah 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 and da 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 whatever something for the flight?" And I'm like, "No. I do everything else." Like, he does these things. Okay. So I said, I don't know. I said, I'm sure he's going to make sure we can get on the plane. Like whatever that is. But
Yeah.
in the assembly we have this too. Like I think California's website looks incredible. And I
You
I know
do?
I
That's so
love
nice.
it. I really love it. Like
Never
ours,
mind that it's, like 6 months outdated, but that's a whole other story.
girl, y'all's website's pretty advanced. I
We
mean,
won't go there, but
We
anyway.
went we went from a really rudimentary one to where we have some guys that are really trying to make it, like, super snazzy, and
Uh-huh.
they're working on it, like, I can't wait to see how it looks, but we were looking at California as an example, like, "Oh, look at their website, that looks awesome." But anyway, I digress. I'm just saying that if someone likes to do whatever, we're letting those guys do it because they're excited. They want to do it. They know what's gonna
Yes.
look good. And we're just like, "Great, make it look awesome." This is what volunteers do, y'all. Did you know that like Anna operates 100% with volunteers? So if anything looks as organized as that, if people are always criticizing her website too, Michelle, they're like, "Oh, it's like it needs to be a little easier to read." We're like, "Dude, there's like volunteers that did that for
Right.
free."
Right. Yeah, if someone's gonna take out my trash, if someone's gonna sweep my floor, I'm gonna be like, "Okay, whatever I get for free, I'm gonna be like, 'Okay, thank you.'" And,
Mm.
unless, of course, there's I don't know, if they built a website and it was, like, satanic or something, I would have a
Oh,
problem with
yeah.
that.
No, I mean, if they clean your floor and you're like, "Dude, that's a beautiful floor. Thank you."
Yeah. It's better than it was before, like
No, I think that, the people that are stepping up to volunteer, we have a good amount of talent. Could we have more talent? Yes. Would we appreciate it? Yes. Could more people do more things if we could quit our jobs and just only do this? Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know?
Well, yeah, one of these days, and I don't know exactly when, but one of these days, the money thing is going to be handled, right? There's that book that
Yes.
Anna told us about on our training the other night about money, the greatest hoax in American history or something. I forget what the title
The
was.
greatest fraud or greatest
Yeah,
American lie or something. I don't know. I'll pull it up while
yeah.
you're doing your thing.
So it's like that book. Um, I'm going to be reading that, hopefully sooner than later, because it's a big old PDF book, and I want to print it and read it. I prefer paper. I'm one of these people. I still prefer paper. I know that there are probably the sustainable development people that, might use that against me. But I'm just old fashioned like that. So anyway, I want to read that book because this idea of being able to break free from the corporatocracy, right, while also at the same time rejecting FRNs, the Federal Reserve notes, and wanting nothing to do with the debt central banking system, the central banking system of peonage and slavery, right? There's this, you know, people have to comprehend that what the assemblies are tasked with doing is standing up a government that is not the top down government. Because, listen, we have to have something else to protect the assets that belong to everybody, not just our own assets, of which we get our own. But, there's that, what about the roads? What about the national parks? What about this and that and the other thing? And I would love it. I would love it to be able to have a conversation with one of the, I don't want to say the word leaders, but one of the thought leaders, I guess, of the Art of Liberty movement, um, because I want to comprehend what it is they're trying to say to people like us. There's this underlying idea that any form of government isn't necessary at all. And I can't wrap my brain around that part. I'm trying to figure that out because there are people that feel as passionate as you and I do about standing up a lawful government. They're as passionate about zero government.
They don't
And I'm like,
understand that we're the government. That's the whole problem. What they think is, okay, so they're like, we don't like the government we have, Niti. Why would we want another one? Okay. And there's a lot of preppers and a lot of these radically self-reliant people. And they also believe, look, if you have been in the military or you've worked with them, then they are thinking about it from the military perspective. And what our friends don't know is that our military has been working for the British, crown, as mercenaries since for the last 150 years. So they
mhm.
think that they are upholding our government, and this is the biggest lie. And
Well, yeah, because there's like a fear or
yes,
something of I think the word is statism, or that people are stateists in terms of an ideology or a belief system, as opposed to the definition of people that are self-governing and holding the line of defending the rights of free people.
they
That's what.
can't comprehend, Michelle, that if we're all cooperating, and honoring and operating in honor,
Mhm,
that there would be lawfulness still.
mhm,
They haven't experienced that because there's always somebody making them
mhm.
behave. Okay, here's an example, Michelle. We're both moms.
Yep.
Okay, so
One of the joys.
I
Yes.
know. Have you ever when the kids were small, Michelle,
Mhm,
when they were all itty bitties, right?
mhm.
Because our kids aren't that itty bitty anymore. But when they were itty bitties,
No,
right?
my oldest one just turned 31.
Well, you don't look like you have a 31-year-old. That's what
Well,
I
I
know.
could thank my Arbonne lady for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clara.
So what I'm saying is that our children, when they were itty bitties, then if we wanted to raise them with love and not, um, I think a lot of moms, a lot of young mothers were like, you're trying to, be so authoritative with your children.
Mhm,
Okay, there is structure required.
mhm.
I mean, I raised my children to be dangerous. I tell I tell everybody, I said, I
They're
didn't
armed and dangerous.
yeah, I didn't raise my kids to be, safe.
Uh-huh.
I didn't bubble wrap them or anything like that. But I mean, I raised them to be dangerous.
Mm.
And that required them to be responsible
Of course. Yeah, the
because
more, you
they
know.
have to be
Mm.
responsible for what they do.
Oh,
And so that meant that there were times when they were little itty bitties that they might have got yelled at. They
mhm.
might have.
They might have.
I might have yelled at them and said, "Whoa, stop running in the street because, no, we're not gonna go play in traffic, okay?
No, not playing in traffic.
Not
Nope,
playing in
not doing it.
traffic." Or, whatever. And I remember one time that we were at a shopping center,
Mhm.
and my kids were 4 and 2 and 1 in arms, right? And the 2 and the 4-year-old just had to run. And I had to literally scream because they were gonna get hit by a car, and I had a
Well, and you know
buggy.
they love that kind of attention too. They're like, "Mom is screaming, yay!" It's
Yay!
like when your dogs are freaking out and then you freak out and then they freak out even more, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then they're like,
So
"Ah,
I
it's time to
screamed
freak
I I
out."
I screamed at them because I needed them to stop. They were gonna get hit by a car. I wanted them to put one hand on the buggy each,
Mhm.
right? Because that was a rule. Put your hand on the buggy and walk. But no, okay, so I screamed at them, and I got them in the car. I'm like, "You guys cannot run away from me like that. There's cars moving here. You could get hurt."
Mhm.
This woman came up to me and gave me tried to lecture me about how I screamed at the kids. And I was like, "Look, woman, they were gonna get hit by another person who wasn't even looking where they were going."
Oh.
And, so I had to scream at them. And she said, "You can't scream at them." I said, "Do you have children? Did you know that they just run sometimes?
Mhm.
And they're just out there being free." My kids were free ranged, okay? So, I didn't have them on a leash.
No.
And you
No,
yell at
they
them once or twice, and then they don't do that again because you're just like, "See, I told you, Anyway,
yeah.
I think that people confuse discipline with and structure
Mhm.
with authoritarianism or something like authority. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I do. I mean, how you are raising and have raised your children, radically different than, like, I would say the majority. But thankfully, what's happening is people are starting to wake up to this sort of like indoctrination of this autocratic system of people just being
Mhm.
obedient
Mhm.
commercial debt slaves, right?
Okay, this is how much time it is before you know, date, then you get married, then you have babies, then you're going to go to work, and then you're in a hamster wheel. Okay?
Uh-huh.
It's like you go to work, you use this much time to do work, and then you come home and then you really don't have any time to do anything. And so then you're just mad. So to not be mad, you watch television to
Oh, right.
feel like you did something
Yeah.
because in the show, it can make you feel like you did a lot of your own choices because you picked the show.
Right.
You picked it, and so you watched it. Is your favorite, and then it gives you something to talk about the next day at work at the water cooler, and it's just like there's but what did you actually do for yourself that you chose to do?
Yeah,
Nothing.
mostly people need, the world is so chaotic
Yeah.
and upsetting and traumatizing
It's
and,
traumatizing. It's
it's traumatizing,
traumatizing.
but it's by design.
Yeah. To
You know
keep
what?
you
Have you ever read um Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars?
Ooh,
Or
no.
is it Quiet Weapons for Silent War? I always
I
forget.
don't
I think
know.
it's Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars.
Oh.
It's a pamphlet that
Mm.
the pages the book itself must have been like 5 by 7, or like
Uh-huh.
4 by 6. I don't know, but not that big. It's not a big book. It's about 50 something pages long.
Mhm.
And
Somebody wrote Silent Weapons, Quiet Wars.
thank you. So that book outlines the plan. It
Mm.
outlines the plan
Mhm.
to
I read the
destroy.
white papers. I didn't read that,
Oh
but
yeah. Well, it's
I
like,
I I read the Rockefeller white papers. That was
oh, it's
probably a lot
basically the
more.
same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the destruction of the family,
Yes.
putting dad to work, mom
Yeah.
to work,
Uh-huh.
divide and conquer
Remove the
the
man from the
entire
home,
family.
remove because it used to be that you had the baker and the candlestick maker and whatever, and they lived upstairs and their shop was downstairs. This is
Right.
the American enterprise, okay? So if you're gonna be in town, then you go upstairs and live and you work downstairs, but you don't leave home. You don't go away. You don't leave the children,
Yeah, you don't
okay?
leave the kids.
You don't leave the kids, like, that's a big deal, and so, we were fortunate that we were able to manage to do that, which is why my kids can be dangerous, but everybody else has to work, I think, a whole lot harder
Mhm,
to try to do that. Not that
mhm,
you can't do it, but it's just a lot harder, and so, yeah, I think that, right now you have this entire world of people who the minute they find out about this, Michelle, they're
mhm.
like, "Oh, yeah, I wanna do that, and then I'm gonna do whatever I want, and you're not gonna tell me what to do." But they're still don't know how to go outside of the 9 to 5 paradigm, the, paradigm of, "Oh, well, when we meet our friends, we're supposed to
Yep,
talk about the whatever 10 shows that are on TV or the movies or whatever." They don't know how to get out of that, how to break out of it
mhm.
or the music and look, I'm not trying to kill all the entertainment and everything that everybody thinks is so great, but it is kind of a trap. Like, it's not as great as what it would be if you had all the time in the world to, like, "Let's go to Italy for a month on holiday and, like, discover that culture
Oh,
and
right, like back in the
meet whoever's there for
you know,
the
when you
month."
when you read about the lives, if you've ever done any sort of reading of history or the lives of people that, quote, "made history,"
Yeah.
there was always there was always foreign travel and discovery where there was, like, no real rush to get back home. You know what I mean? It
Uh-huh,
was like going out, experiencing other cultures, other food, seeing other places, seeing how other people live,
uh-huh.
learning arts of that area, and there's like this sort of like idea of sojourning around and like learning about other things outside of your own little comfort zone. And
Right,
no
right, like
no doubt that the Rockefellers got to do that. The Rothschilds got
mhm.
got to do that. I mean,
I mean,
probably every
they would go, like okay, so, like, our kids were at a micro school,
mhm,
and they were immersed in French and Spanish, and the owner of the little micro school, she used to encourage the parents to go to, like, South America with their family for the
mm,
summer,
yeah.
over the summer break, and be there and spend, like, a month, and, she made friends with people down there, and so she would say, "Hey, if you guys want, you could go stay with these folks. They have, like, an area that you can, like, rent or whatever and learn and immerse yourself in the culture for the month or a couple of months if you wanna go down there." And but most people are like, "You're going to where for the month? You get to do that? Like,
How do
that's
you get a month
incredible."
off? Yeah.
Right, right.
What are you,
Anyway,
a school teacher? You get a month off? Yeah. Well, I think the question that is on a lot of people's minds is how do you survive? How do you make money if you're not working for somebody else? How do you survive when there's still this uh, commercial system, the corporate system out there? How do you survive? What if you're not creative? What if you don't know how to manufacture anything? What if you live in a giant city where, you can't farm your own fields and grow your own cattle? And so those kinds of questions do come across my awareness, and
mhm.
I don't have all the answers for that. I really don't.
Well, a lot of people don't even know how to go and immerse themselves with another family or how to be uncomfortable and just be gracious guests
Mm,
because they're used to traveling first class, getting their own rental car, being in a hotel, controlling every moment of their day, not wanting to be pliable, or be appreciative or gracious for, whoever it is that they're staying with. Or they have so much anxiety, Michelle, they can't go to the grocery store, never mind go to a foreign country and, like, stay with a family that they can't even know and, on their land or something, and then because that those were the kind of arrangements I'm talking about, like, that she had established as the owner of the school. Because she's
Mm,
like, "If you
right.
wanna go here, you can, like, immerse yourself with these French people. You can go here and immerse yourself with these Spanish people," and a lot of people were like, "What?" And so
That's
it's
when people go to those what are they called? Hostel?
yeah.
You go and, like, live in stay in a hostel. You could, work it out in advance where you can do home trading where, like, oh, they can come and stay at your house here while you go and stay at their house there.
Right, like,
That's
people make movies about that, but you're not supposed to really do it, Michelle, come on. Like
I'm like, "Why not, Niti? I wanna try that one day."
yeah. Hey, look at what's going on here.
What?
So, okay, I don't know what your name is, Mel, or whatever, but it says, "I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. Americans are back as not a scam at least or whatever because they're."
Oh, they follow Anna's teachings, it says.
Well, it has all her stuff in there, and I don't know, like, if it helps connect you with your state assembly or whatever. I know, here on North Carolina, our coordinator, we help our people with our paperwork, and we walk them through all of it and make sure that it's done correctly, and we do it for not 500 and whatever dollars. Like, we help people come home here on North Carolina because we want all North Carolinians that want to be home, home. And we don't make them go through all this. We don't our recording secretaries and everybody here on our state, we're walking them through that, and we're not making them have to do their own paperwork, and aren't making them have to figure it all out. We want to help them do it, and we help them do it correctly the way that Anna wants it to be done. And we don't do it for thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or whatever it is. And in fact, many people we help come back, and a lot of our recording secretaries have donated their time because those people were just unable to afford to pay to come home. So, what I'm saying is a lot of people go to these websites, maybe they get walked back to their assembly. I didn't see where that was happening, but I didn't also push all the buttons. So,
I hope that they do that because really
right.
well, again, just like at the top of the call, it's gonna come full circle here before I gotta hop off, but it's like
Yes.
there's those that wanna be free, and that's it.
Mhm.
They're like, "I'm free now, leave me alone, I'm going down the path of self-governing," and that's that. Then there's the other camp called
Mhm.
stepping up and volunteering for your assembly to help stand up your lawful government.
Which requires education,
It
friends.
sure does.
So you have to
Mhm.
actually like we don't make you have to learn the paperwork to come back, but we do want you to get involved and read, and we want people to make the effort to become educated so that they can help us
Right.
also. So there's that part.
Yeah.
But if they are doing that, then I really hope that they are connecting them with assemblies. That would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful because the assemblies really need people that
Yeah.
wanna volunteer. But
Yes.
how do you foster a culture of volunteerism
When they're
voluntarism?
paying $1,000 to get in and I mean, I don't know.
Right, right.
Hey,
If you want people to be free. Oh,
you're
sorry.
like, "I really gotta hang up now."
Oh, I do. I wish I didn't, because trust me, this is way more fun and more, contributory to the bigger picture, so
Well, Michelle, listen, I appreciate all the time that you give to the cause. I mean, both of us are donating our time because we want to have these conversations, the hard
Mhm.
conversations for people to hear, all these different perspectives. And we love all of you guys out there. We hope that the things that we talk about help shape, your thoughts so that maybe you would consider, whatever it is that we're saying. Um, but like like we're not trying to dig in on anybody, you
No.
know, who is helpful. we're not saying that people shouldn't be making money doing some of these things, but Anna doesn't make any money
Yeah. And who
for the
knows?
work.
Maybe they're sharing some of it with her. Maybe, who knows?
We
Maybe
don't
they're
know.
maybe they're using the money like and giving it back to Anna because it's all her materials. you know? Who
Right.
knows?
Well, I
But
don't know, but I hope the people that they're bringing back, they're educating them
mhm.
and helping them actually get involved in their assemblies, because if we don't get our courts stood up, if we don't get our states seated, then, it is gonna be kind of an issue, and I don't know how many people get their paperwork done and even get involved in their assemblies, so that means they would be stateless, or are they only just promoting global family bank, which that's not helping our states get seated. I don't know.
Yeah. That's gonna be a pause button for me. So I gotta hop off.
I know. We
But
can't keep
how
going right
fun. And
now.
I'm so sorry too that this one's shorter than usual, but we'll be back on track next week. So we'll do 11 a.m. Pacific next week, and I'll be able to stay on for an hour and a half. So yippee!
Yay. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. All right,
We'll
everybody, have an
we'll see
awesome
you guys
day.
next week, all right?
Thank you, Niti.